Frances Perkins, who are there every day for their students doing the hard work of education. Thank you, teachers and staff. And graduates, before I get started, there's something I'm going to ask you to do. In a second, I'm going to ask you to look around, find your parent, guardian, or loved one, make eye contact, and I want you to say thank you. If they're not here, I want you to say thank you to the universe because they will hear you. All right, so get up, turn around, make eye contact, and say thank you.
Can you see my baby?
Thank you. Oh my God. You want some fun? Oh my God.
All right. That is a sound that I like to hear. The first thing I want to talk to you about today is saying thank you. Because when we say thank you, we start the day right with an attitude of gratitude. And to my mind, that's what we need more of in the world. More of an attitude of gratitude. Now, some of these things I've said at graduations before, so the teachers might have heard a couple of them, so bear with me. But it's an important value, gratitude, to talk about. Every day I buy my daily news by the subway to the same news guy, and I say, how you doing? And his response is always, I'm above ground. And I check myself because every little or big problem that I was thinking about seems to kind of fade away when he says that. I'm above ground. I'm alive. And I need to be thankful because I have the opportunity to live this life right now, today, in this moment. And I'm truly grateful to be here with all of you right here, right now. Now, your parents may agree, this is a particularly hard value for teenagers to express, except maybe on days like today. Teenagers, that's you, are naturally in that time of life where you are constantly demonstrating and declaring your independence from your parents. Yes, and we did all go through it. Even though I graduated in '78, I went through the same things y'all are. During this time, teenagers are not necessarily being grateful for what their parents have provided. But as Mark Twain once remarked, I couldn't believe how ignorant my parents were when I was 14, but how much they had learned by the time I was 21. Hopefully it will be the same for you. Usually the parents are the only ones who get that joke, but okay. All right. Now, everyone can benefit from being grateful. Researchers have found that teenagers who express gratitude and appreciation for what they had were more satisfied in life, they were more hopeful about the future, they did better in school, and they were less likely to get involved in alcohol and drugs. Expressing gratitude regularly increases the amount of dopamine in your brain, which leads to feelings of happiness. Those are pretty good reasons for feeling grateful. I actually believe the only words you really need when you travel all over the world are thank you in the local language. You just point and you say gracias, or obrigado, or merci, or thanks in the local language. And you can go and you'll be fine anywhere and people will appreciate you for it. But let's get real right up front. You are alive, you are above ground, and that is not a given. And we should be grateful and appreciate that for starters. Last year, a coworker of mine and a friend, Janelle Lewis, died of cancer. She was 36 years old, had a husband and a 2-year-old baby. At her funeral, a few of her former students that she had when she taught 8th grade got up and they spoke about how Janelle had changed their lives. They talked about how much she had appreciated them in class and helped them to believe in their dreams. Yes, Janelle died relatively young, but she touched a lot of people in her time on this earth. And sometimes it takes death to make us understand that we have the chance to show gratitude and appreciate while we are right here, right now. So how does this look, this gratitude, this appreciation? I think it's a series of concentric circles. First, you show appreciation for yourself. Maybe you stop eating so much junk food. Maybe you turn off the Xbox at midnight instead of 2 a.m. and you get a little bit more sleep. Maybe you could even keep a gratitude journal of things that you do have. If you appreciate yourself and what you are good at, your self-esteem improves and you make better decisions that will help you, not hurt you. Second, you show appreciation for your friends and family and those around you. How does that look? Well, You start with saying thank you, and not just on the days that you graduate, but say thank you every day. It means appreciating the strengths of others around us and not tearing them down. That especially means appreciating, respecting, and uplifting those around us, even on Facebook or Instagram, and staying out of all the stupid stuff that people say sometimes when they text and feel anonymous. Yeah, some people know what I'm talking about. An attitude of gratitude is contagious, and that karma is very real. When you appreciate yourself and those around you, you will find a group of people who are positive and actually appreciate their own communities and make them better. Whether that means cleaning up a community garden, fixing up a school, or even bringing joy to a community. Someone in your community in this graduating class who has appreciated those around him and the school that you have built and contributed back to it is Mr. Marcus Sevi. Marcus keeps a consistent outlook of appreciation and gratitude towards his teachers, his peers, and learning in general. He is a peaceful person, and his thoughtfulness shines through in all of his daily interactions with everyone around him. Let's give Marcus a hand. So this is where I come in, where Sabrina talked about. The second thing I want to talk to you about is change. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus coined the phrase, the only thing that is constant is change. The crazy thing about him is that he said that more than 2,500 years ago, and change has been happening ever since. The funny thing also is that we may not feel change on a day-to-day basis, but like Sabrina said, think about how much you've changed since you were a little smaller, maybe a little bit scared 14-year-old freshman on that first day of high school in 2011. How much change have you actually gone through? A whole bunch. Physically, mentally, and educationally, you have changed. How about how much the school itself has changed? New principal, some new teachers, new decorations, photos on the wall. The school is remarkably changed. Look at those Regents results from 3 or 4 years ago to the Regents that y'all did right now, and you see how much this school has changed. Now, it may seem like things stay the same or that change is really slow, but it is happening. Like Sabrina also mentioned, think about how much change has taken place in this country since the Founding Fathers wrote a Constitution in 1789. In those days, the white, male, mostly property owners set up a system where they were the only voice, the only votes. But changes over the last 200 years have brought out many other voices into the mix of our country. African Americans, women, immigrants, all have much more of a voice than they did at our nation's founding. And with the Black Lives Matter movement and other voices coming out, it is time to make even more of those voices counting throughout our country. Which brings me to my last point, and something that I hope that you will really take away from today's graduation. Since change is happening all the time, it is up to you to be a part of, and yes, actually lead that change. The changes in the school wouldn't have happened without Mr. Bryant, the teachers, and all of you making those changes happen. Changes in our country wouldn't happen without people changing themselves and then making the changes around them. Westward expansion, slave revolts, Civil War, Civil Rights Movement, all happened because people like me and you embodied the change that they wanted to see in the world. The quote, usually attributed to Gandhi, comes to mind. Be the change you wish to see in the world. This means starting with yourself. And you've taken a great first step. You've graduated. Nyasia Providence embodies this belief. Nyasia decided what type of academic student she wanted to be and molded, yes, changed herself into a graduate who was driven to achieve college-level work while she was still in high school. She also creates boundaries for herself that make her the kind of person she wants to be within the society on a daily basis. She is strong-minded. Maybe sometimes a little too much, according to some people. But that allows her to create the mindset of being the change that she wants to make in the world. Let's give Nyasia a hand. At a deeper level, when you develop and live with an attitude of gratitude, and when you change yourself and the attitudes of others around you, you can make the small and big changes in the world. Whether you're going to college, into military service, or going to work, I challenge you right now to demonstrate gratitude and to be the change that you wish to see to make this world a better place. My last quote is from Margaret Mead, the anthropologist, who said, "Never underestimate the power of a small group of committed people to change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2015, you are that small group of committed people. Now go and change the world, one person, one university, one job site at a time. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dudley, for that wonderful speech. I feel like I'm leaving here changed too. All right.